for people.
Let's just stop and go back. Because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Toure, first of all, Toure.
Why don't you let me wrap it? It says go to host
voice when you're talking to me. Lower your voice when you're talking to me because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine.
I've been very critical of Cheyenne Bryant.
I know.
I've been very critical of her. However, like it was sassy. Like what he yelled, what he like threw a tantrum about, he could have spoke. You could have said, Cheyenne, I'm just trying to close the show out. So I'd appreciate it if you let me close the show out. Is that hard? But no, he got it, got in his emotions and he's like, Cheyenne, all that, nut shit he wanted to do.
I would bet money that Cheyenne Bryant is not like that in real life. In front of somebody, she's not that type of aggressive. Everybody tough on the internet, but
Doc, what do you think about the notion of holding parents criminally responsible for their children's behavior?
I said it earlier. I said it's circumstantial. I think that if a parent is neglecting their child of what's needed for them to be mentally stable and healthy and be in a state of mind where they can actually, operate as a citizen who isn't impaired, then I think that that parent who's providing those resources, should not be have consequence or discipline. But again, if you're neglecting your child in any manner, I think there should be consequences to a parent, no matter what, if there's neglect at the hands of a child. But y'all know how I feel. I feel gentle parenting makes for a child. I think that there are rules and in their structure, and there's a thing called boundaries, and boundaries have been proven to create healthy relationships, not just between people, but for that person within themselves. And if we raise kids with no boundaries and no structure and discipline, they go out into the world and they don't understand that, and they end up being in battles, and they end up actually having a lot of issues with law enforcement. They end up being the child that's disruptive in school and class because they don't understand that the world doesn't revolve around them. There's a big world that they are able to participate in, but they cannot be the center of attention to everything. And so I'll end on saying that what I do agree with is that every child is different, and that every child may not necessarily need the same level of discipline, but every child does need structure and discipline in order for that child to grow up and be an adult who understands that this is the law of the land, this is how life works, and successful people, not just only externally, but internally, what they do carry at the nucleus of who they are is discipline and boundaries.
If gentle parenting creates gentle children, sign me up. I definitely want to create more gentle adults, especially men. Hold on, everybody, especially men.
You are
My
a gentle.
God, are you kidding?
Very, very.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. That's what we need in the world is more gentle men.
If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Marcus will bring you up momentarily. Conversation gets interesting, so make sure y'all paying attention. I feel like she was talking for a little minute, didn't she? Like she was long-winded. All right, some of y'all on the panel be long-winded like that, so no. What they say, don't have a kettle called a cat black, something like that. Here we go.
Who understands?
You're very gentle, and it comes at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
Let's just stop and go back. Because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Toure,
why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show.
First of all,
what is the point of interrupting me? We're getting out of here. Like, what is the point? What is the point? It says go to host up.
When you're talking to me, lower your fucking voice when you're talking to me, because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Toure, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, gentle. I'm not your wife, softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that, not me. Toure, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't fucking talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
If you guys didn't notice, he was muted. I'm assuming by the executive producer, but he was muted.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold on,
talk to your
Doc.
wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do. You better tap into your gentleness and real quick.
We ready?
I've been ready. Been ready.
Ariba, Frank, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
I also noticed too, he not saying anything. He know he was muted. So he just really at this point, he don't know what to say, what to think.
You ready, Toure, to wrap this up?
Yes, as I was doing.
And then we'll speak off camera. Here we go.
We always ask, when should a parent be held responsible for their children's behavior, whether it's at school, tantrum in Walmart, whatever? Let's flip the lens. There's a difference between the parent mourning a child lost to violence and the one silently praying because their child pulled the trigger. One gets sympathy, the other gets silence, but both carry a pain the world rarely understands. So tonight, the part we never talk about, ask yourself, not as a spectator, but as a parent of a child who took a life, how should society treat that parent? Should the law hold them accountable or let them live with the weight in silence? Would you deserve compassion or a conviction or a bunch of I told you so's? It's a tough one, but that's what we do on Truth Talks. Hit us in the comments and let us know how you feel. That's all we have for tonight. Thank you for Bring the Funk family for welcoming the Truth Tellers to the channel. This is our last week on Roland Martin Unfiltered /live, where you can catch us every night at 8 p.m. EST. Truth Talk here on the screen. The show is being shadow banned, so support us.
I mean, I didn't see the full prior to, so I don't know how that dialogue went, but she pissed me off. She pissed me off in so many ways because I don't really think that he was saying anything that was disrespectful. I think that part of her problem is, just from hearing her speak, this is why she has these issues, because of how she's disrespectful. I mean, I think she's the one who started using the F word, like just dropping it like that. I don't think that you should be talking to anybody like that if it gets to that point. I think it's disrespectful. However, I do think that being as though he it has a certain position on that channel, he has to know how to kind of cut that and reel it back in.
But the question is, could he have? Because she was just cutting up. He didn't even, you know what I'm saying? It sounded like he was trying to close it out, but she just stayed cursing him out. So I think he was trying. His intent was to reel it in, but he couldn't. She overpowered all that.
It made me think of Pretty and Willie when they were going back and forth. Sorry,
that is exactly what I thought. I'm glad you said it. In my mind, I was saying it, but I was like, nah, this is a new day. Let me let that live.
If this is the type of show y'all want to have tonight, I'm here for it. So that's what's up. Because me and that bitch ain't never had no back and forth like that. One, that nigga is a whole hoe. And the way that went, that's not how that shit will go with me. It's not how it went with me in the past. So both of y'all are full of shit.
I'm not saying you are the guy. I'm saying just the back and forth, like, cussing at each other.
Not the dialect itself.
Yeah, I've never had a back and forth with anybody who didn't start that shit with me. And he didn't do nothing to that girl. She just being unruly bitch that she is. Like, and what I'm noticing about in this space, if you let people, women especially, talk long enough, they show it to you. They may start off like cool, calm, classy, all this other shit, but eventually the hyena come out. Eventually, like that facade, like that representative, that shit drop, and then you see the real inside version of them. And she's just showing it now because they know what's doctor now. So she mad, and she came on the show because Toure did a video. He did a video talking about her doctor situation. So I would expect it to be smoke for them to be on the same panel anyway. But congratulations, shit happens.
I also think that women have been disrespectful for so long, in a way towards men that, because if a man did that, it'd be smoke in the city. Like if the man said that the way she said that, I also feel like it'd have been a whole different. Oh man, it would be bad because men are technically supposed to always, be respectful to women, but so I think that,
I mean, he wasn't though. Like, so I've been very critical of Cheyenne Bryant.
I know.
I've been very critical of her. However, like the nigga was sassy. Like what he yelled, what he like threw a tantrum about, he could have spoke. You could have said, Cheyenne, I'm just trying to close the show out. So I'd appreciate it if you let me close the show out. Is that hard? But no, he got it, got in his emotions, and he he's like, Cheyenne, all that, nut shit he wanted to do. I think he was OD, but at the same time, I don't know what happened prior to the show. Or prior to what we was looking at. Maybe they was going at it the whole show or something like that. But I think that he didn't have to do all of that. I know I wouldn't have did all of that, but the nigga is sassy. The nigga's feminine. It is what it is. Like, you can tell that, and I'm sure he know that shit. So
he's known for being that type of feminine nigga. I thought he was gay, and when he said he got a wife, I'm pretty sure his wife looks like Ellen DeGeneres.
Ain't no way he don't know he feminine. So I don't know how that's an insult.
Yeah, but why does she have to call that part out? Like she was like literally degrading him to the utmost. And I think that's pretty childish.
Softy and all that. I think that was a little bit.
That's how you know. That's when you have to see your wife address shit like that. Like, if you say something about, then his wife needs to address it. And I would bet money that Cheyenne Brown is not like that in real life. In front of somebody, she's not that type of aggressive. Everybody tough on the internet, but saying bitches like that should be getting punched in the face. And since he's a sissy anyway, he's sassy anyway, I wouldn't have been mad if he would have checked her that way, because he's already a girl.
That nigga tried to crash out on Roland Martin's platform on live TV on me. Nigga, like, suck him.
Yeah.
Some deep.
Don't
so Martin Willie.
He'll try to.
So, let me say, I support everything she just did to him. And I got two good reasons. Two very, very good reasons. One, Toure is the same dude that was saying that if there's ever a time to call black people niggas, the white people get a pass if they work for ICE. I don't know if y'all remember, he was normalizing that. Yeah, he was normalizing that. He was saying that you can call black people niggas if they work for ICE with the ER to white people. So him getting cursed out, I'm all for. And two, she was talking to him about boundaries. She said, I believe that there's different discipline styles, but you need to enact boundaries that are held, or you'll have soft people who don't understand how to embrace or respect boundaries and discipline and what have you. And he was saying, well, that'll be more gentleman. So she was like, yeah, well, that don't always work. And then she, in real time, gave an example of what she meant. She crossed his boundaries, disrespected him, and he wanted her to go back across those boundaries, and he could not get her to. And she proved her point in doing that. That's my point.
He want us to move like women. Like, he want men to move like women, and we can just passive aggressive throw shots and be snarky throughout the whole engagement. Like, nigga, no, like, throw your shit up, and we're gonna get this shit over with. Like, he want people to be like, nigga, nobody want to move like that.
Hey,
so does anybody think that it was kind of how the executive producer decided to say, "Oh yeah, we'll talk after this"?
No,
I think that was also unprofessional to say that like on live.
I think that was expected. That's what black women do for black women, generally speaking. They will never ever in mass or in these type of situations side with the man. It's just sister code. Like, these types of women, these bitches are high.
So I thought she was talking to him because
muted him.
He's the main one that's.
She muted him. She let her go off. Then told him that they would talk offline, and then kept muting him when he was trying to respond. That is what happens with even sissy men, when they're going up against a woman. That's the only time it's not okay to be a sissy dude, because you're going up against a woman. And again, these types of women are hive-minded. So this isn't anything new. We just saw it on a larger, more popular platform.
Can we play it back also to the part where he pretty much his little saying that he's trying to close the show out? Can I see that again?
Gentle parenting creates gentle children. Sign me up. I definitely want to create more gentle adults, especially men. Hold on, everybody. Especially men.
You are
my
a gentle.
God.
You are
Hold on,
guys.
That's what we need in the world, is more gentle men who understand.
You're very gentle, and that comes at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
Let's just stop and go back, because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Toure, first of all, Toure.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show.
First of all,
what is the point of interrupting me?
First of all,
we're getting out of here. Like, what is the point?
Toure,
what is the point? It says go to host up
voice when you're talking to me. Lower your voice when you're talking to me because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Toure, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, gentle. I'm not your wife, softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that. Not me. Toure, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you finish. That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't fucking talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold
talk
on,
to your
Doc.
wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do.
I think they both deserve to be muted. You know, she should have just muted both of them. Like, just mute both of them, get them off the screen. Yep. Like, you know. But I think he was trying to get his shit off, like, all right, let me close the show out and let me like say what I think about, you know, how we need softer men. Like, I'm trying to get it, and she knew he was trying to get his shit off, and she was like, "Nah, I ain't about to let you do that. Close the show out on you, get the last word and all that."
But isn't it his show?
That's his job.
Yeah, he can get. Yeah, he's supposed to wrap the show.
He's supposed to get the last word.
And she interrupted him.
So I understand if you're the leader of a show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm stooping down to as if I'm one of like the panelists, I think that's wrong. Like, you trying to get you and her going at it or whatever, you trying to get your last argument off. No, nigga, if you want to be the leader, be the leader.
He gets the last word. That's what a host does.
But he wasn't just getting the last word. He was getting his last snarky word.
No, he
his last little
I don't think so.
His favorite color chapstick is dick. We get that. But that's not, he was literally just closing off the show. Like, and
he couldn't even finish.
And then she started interrupting him, and then then it's soft and talk about his wife and shit. Like, again, this is why I'm not necessarily 100% sold on bringing back the area where you start slapping bitches, but if there was ever to be an example of when you should, that's one.
I agree. I want to slap her.
Criminal violence, but I think she was disrespectful. Like, so he's the host. If he going to get his last, you know what I mean, whatever, even if it's snarky, she took it overboard. I didn't notice though that he cursed first, and then she let the curses fly, matching energy to the.
It's not his. If it was his show, he'd have muted her. He got muted.
But that's because isn't he like the background looks like
he looks like he was running the show, right? But he's not the executive producer.
And then he did mention that they talked about it last week. They had a meeting about this.
They had a meeting.
And
about
that's where I feel like she's out of pocket, because if y'all had a meeting about him having the last word or him closing out the show, and you know that this is going to happen again this week, and you like refuting, she got all of her opinions off. Let him get his opinions, and then be like, it is what it is.
Yeah, everybody different. Some people like, yo, if I know, like, everybody else might not know what you're trying to do, and they might not know how you talking down to me, but you're not about to do that. Everybody different. You're not about to talk down to me and, you know, get the last word. Like, nah, fuck out of here. Some people like that. Some people more mature, but some people, you know, obviously they've been dealing with this back and forth for some time. They had to have a meeting about it. So, but I actually saw his video the other day where he spoke about this past video that him and Cheyenne, they had a show where they were both on a show together, and he spoke about them having a show together, and he didn't make it seem like it was his show. He just said that they were both doing a show together. So,
and if you have a production meeting, and in that production meeting, everybody who's going to be on the show is given the format, the title, like the subjects, and then the layout for the show. If at the end of that production meeting, everyone is informed that, hey, after we talk about this, I'll give my final remarks and close out. I don't see how that's not automatically putting her in the wrong.
They didn't tell us. He didn't tell us all of that. He just said we talked about this last week.
Well, yeah. So the assumption should be that they had a production meeting, which they do for prior to every show when they plan them out, and then explain. So,
yeah. So I agree that the assumption should be that they had a production meeting, but what they spoke about, I won't assume I won't assume that they spoke about, yo, I'm going to close the show out versus, yo, you and Cheyenne, y'all got to stop y'all shit. Who knows what they was?
But she knows how this goes, though.
Shows have
Right.
format.
And
We don't know how this goes.
regardless though, she really
was
didn't
wrong.
have to just go left and go so disrespectful with it. And for somebody who's talking about gentle parenting, she sure wasn't being a gentle adult in that situation. So she need to check herself.
She never advocated for gentle parenting.
Yeah,
She
he was the
did.
one advocating for it.
He was advocating for that.
He was advocating for it.
No, she said gentle parents produce gentle adults. Y'all want to run it back? Because I'm an
Basically,
advocate.
You want to bet on
She's
it?
basically
You
saying
wanna bet on
soft.
it?
Basically, gentle
Like in a
parents
negative
produce
way.
bitch ass niggas is what she was trying to say.
Yeah.
Regardless, she needed to practice a little more gentleness.
No, if somebody was right here and somebody was wrong here, and it's 9 of us, 1 of you.
Regardless,
Mm-mm.
gentleness was needed.
No,
Thank you,
yeah.
baby.
Yeah,
No,
she
you
wouldn't-
were- no, I just want to. I'm going on record saying you were wrong. We were all right.
Appreciate you.
But gentle parenting does tend to lead to some weird kids. I see it as a coach, and it's the most annoying shit ever. So I gotta give fake Dr. Bryant her credit that at least she wasn't co-signing for that bullshit.
Yeah, because she just acts like the man.
I tried to do gentle parenting stuff with my 2 daughters, and it worked perfectly. Then I had a son, and that shit was out the window. This little dude is something else. You can't gentle parent little boys sometimes.
I just did extensive research on gentle and like why they say that physical, like being a physical parent is wrong, because I believe it's a mix of both is best. And I learned a lot. I learned that it's not necessarily supposed to be it's supposed to be blanket advice, like it's not necessarily the best to tailor it to everybody. But it's a blanket thing that based on all of the data, it suggests that you should probably steer away from doing it. So they just give it to everybody. But in a scenario where you are a parent who knows what you're doing, you have a great relationship with your kids, you're affectionate and all these other type of things, then it's different when it comes to you utilizing that in your toolbox, right? So I did a lot of research.
Yeah, me too. And the main thing I found is like, there are consistencies amongst like certain types of kids. Like I think like in general, little girls kind of act a certain way, at least until 8 or 9, and little boys kind of act a certain way, at least at 8 or 9. The child specifically also has a unique style of discipline and learning that they need individually, and it kind of varies. Because I think I could get away with gentle parenting my entire life with my middle child and never ever even have to raise my voice, like or even like the desire to be perfect is more punishment in her than I could ever. So I got to be careful not to even try and make her feel like I'm too disappointed, because she'll be so hard on herself. Like that's worse than any spanking I could give any child. I never spanked them, but I'm just saying if I was. Now my youngest son, he defiant to the core. Like he want me to know that I'm not. We gonna battle. It's a power dynamic, and I want some power around this piece. And you got it right now, but I'm gonna eventually try and usurp you unless I get them up out this mode, which I'm gonna do. But them 2 different kids, 2 completely different kids.
Can y'all hear me?
Who got you blushing?
I think no, I was I was taking notes. I'm good. I was taking notes.
All right.
I think gentle parenting has like a negative connotation. And the reason why I say that is typically traditional forms of parenting have been very authoritarian, very detached, very stern, very emotionally unavailable. So I just feel like the gentle parenting approach, and I could be wrong, you guys said you study, but to me, gentle parenting sounds more like there's more positive dialogue, it's more communication between you and your child, there's more autonomy and agency. And then I'm not saying that this is not going on in typical parenting situations, but there's a reason why they're saying gentle parenting. And if this is an overlay for the underlay of you just allowing your child to, I don't know, indulge in every whim and want, then that's not what I'm speaking about. But if you're actually sitting here as a parent, as a human being, and you actually are saying you don't know that parents have parented their children wrong. Come on, wake up. It's more so just you being more inclusive with your children. I don't see anything wrong with that. You're supposed to be emotionally available anyway. So again, I think that centers and it makes us pivot back to your trauma. Like we had this discussion before, like your parenting styles. Is that most effective for your child, or is that most effective for you? And maybe you're like emotional avoidance and things that you don't want to do. So again, I'm an advocate for gentle parenting if it's for you actually listening to your child and not just demanding, hey, I'm the parent, you do what I say, I'm big, you're little, I'm smart, you're dumb. And this is just how it works until you're old enough to do what you want. I'm completely against that.